Assalamu alaikum. Tomorrow is World Autism Day, where we highlight the need to help children and adults with autism to live better and more meaningful lives. The theme for this year's Autism Day is Employment, the Autism Advantage, and this week we learn more about the condition and find ways to integrate people with this condition into our society and make this country more inclusive, tolerant, and accepting of them. I'm Jaishan Amir, and this is the Fourth Estate. Tonight, we meet the Maldives Autism Association. But before we go to our guest tonight, let's take a look at the situation of autism in the world. According to the UN, autism is a lifelong developmental disability that manifests itself during the first 3 years of life. It results from a neurological disorder that affects the functioning of the brain, mostly affecting children and adults in many countries irrespective of gender, race, or socio-economic status. It is characterized by impairments in social interaction, problems with verbal and non-verbal communication, and a restricted repetitive behavior, interests, and activities. The rate of autism in all regions of the world is high, and it has a tremendous impact on children, their families, communities, and societies. It can bring significant economic hardships to families, given the lack of health resources often found in developing countries. The stigmatization and discrimination associated with these illnesses also remain substantial obstacles to diagnosis and treatment. The absence of autism spectrum disorders and other mental disorders among children from lists of the leading causes of death has contributed to their long-term neglect by both public policymakers in developing countries as well as donors. World Autism Awareness Day aims to highlight the need to help improve the quality of life of children and adults who are affected by autism so that they can lead full and meaningful lives. According to the UN, it is estimated that more than 80% of adults with autism are unemployed. Research suggests that employers are missing out on abilities that people on the autism spectrum have in greater abundance than neurotypical workers do, such as heightened abilities in pattern recognition and logical reasoning, as well as a greater attention to detail. The hurdles that need to be overcome to unleash this potential include a shortage of vocational training, inadequate support with a job placement, and pervasive discrimination. Our guest for tonight is Ifham Hussain, who is the Managing Director at Maldives Autism Association. Ifham, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
To start off, can you tell us about the Maldives Autism Association?
Well, Maldives Autism Association was established on 21st January 2010, like 5 years back. We are continuing on our 6th year. So it was established by the heartily effort of Madam Ilham Hussain. So first we had the classes at her own place, and then we moved to another place because there was a demand with the enrollment.
What's your mission?
Our mission is to assist children with ASD to live a happy life and to attain their best potential.
So ASD, you mean autism spectrum disorders,
Yes,
right?
autism
So it's
spectrum.
actually a spectrum of disorders, and
Yes.
it could range from anything.
Yeah, from
within
mild to severity.
severity. Okay. So you cover all these ranges, right?
Yeah,
You
sure.
cover-
We have all kids with all, like from mild to severe.
You're doing something very noble and something very important at your association. What is the one thing that keeps you going?
Yeah, one thing, because we see improvement in our kids and our parents are very satisfied. For example, when an 8-year-old kid come to us, the child might be non-verbal. As you know, in autism there are verbal kids and non-verbal kids, and some lack in social interaction. So we see the improvement. We work on their IEP, individualized education plan. So each time we work on a certain goal. For example, we might work on eye contact, and then once that goal is reached, we move on to the next.
So it's step by step.
Step by step,
So
yeah.
from eye contact you go to another stage and
Yeah.
then another stage. So you're not doing it all at once.
Not at
You're
once.
giving individualized attention to the child.
Yeah, it might take, we can reach a goal within a week, or it might take even months to reach to that goal.
I think it's a very important lesson for us adults as well. We need to do things gradually, step by step, rather than hurrying things and trying to finish things in a haste. Now, tomorrow is Autism Awareness Day. It's a big day for your association. What are your plans?
Yeah, like every year we have been conducting awareness programs, but this year we thought of conducting as a telethon. So not only Male, the capital city, will be participating, but the islands also will be taking part in our event.
So what kind of event is that? The telethon, including what are the activities
Our,
within it?
yeah, our main objective of this event is to create awareness, to know the community about children with autism, and once they know the symptoms, how, like when to move and how to move from there. Most people don't know. If they see a developmental delay, they might be waiting for the last minute or something, a miracle might happen, but and they keep on dragging. So my advice is, if you see any delays, go to a doctor, get a proper diagnosis, and then move on from there. The sooner, the earlier, the better.
Better. Can you share some of the highlights of the work that you have done? Your association has been active for over, how long have you been in this?
Yeah, we have finished our 5th year, we are on our 6th year. So as I have said, we started with 4 children. Did I mention that? No. So let me tell you a little bit more about
Let's delve into the history.
Yeah. So we started with 4 children and 2 teachers. Now at present we have 91 students with 35 teachers. So every day, we have been getting phone calls even from the islands. So day by day, our wait list went on and on. That's why we had to, shift our place, move to a bigger place. That is how we went on.
So over the past 6 years, you have made huge improvements.
Yeah.
And more people are actually coming forward
Yeah.
to register their children with you. How many children are registered with you?
So far, we have given some sort of therapy for more than 500 students, meaning that they have registered with us. And some of them have moved to other primary schools, but some of them are still coming to our association and then going to the mainstream schools as well.
You mentioned something about 500 students or children coming to get services from the association. What kind of services do you have?
Yeah, we have speech therapy, we have occupational therapy, and the most we have behavior modification.
Can you tell us something more about these therapies?
Yeah, the thing is, as you know, autism is a huge, it falls under a huge umbrella. So from mild to severity, so every child is different. You don't see similarities in 2 children. So it depends. Once you do the consultation, from there we know how the student is and where the student is. From there we start our work. So first it is one goal at a time.
Lots of questions to ask because it's such a huge issue. What are some challenges faced by autistic children in the Maldives? Because I know that there are a lot of them and many parents are grieving it. And they're trying to find out ways to integrate their children into the society, because sometimes, somewhere down the line, they feel that their child is being neglected or being considered as the other.
Yeah.
So what are the challenges?
Yeah, the most challenge is access to education. I'm being very honest with you. Okay, some autism children are very, very smart. For example, if they do the enrollment test, they might get good marks. But the parents might say, my son has mild autism, and the schools won't give an offer letter. So we have come across many parents like that. That is the main reason in 2015 we have to implement a special curriculum, and then we have transformed association into a school.
Now, the government has put in place a new educational curriculum for this year. Does it in any way address the needs of autistic children?
Yes, it addresses, but the thing is, teachers need to be trained. Teachers doesn't have much experience in dealing with children with autism or with other special needs. So that's the main challenges these kids face. Now, this is what we experience. Our kids are going to mainstream classrooms. Other kids can stay for 4 hours, but autism kids or other disability kids can stay only for 1.5 hours. That is also with their parent or with a shadow teacher. And you know, to get a shadow teacher, it is pretty expensive and a burden for the parents.
Are there many shadow teachers here available?
No, the thing is, parents keep on asking us, and I have minimum number of teachers. Our student-teacher ratio is 1:1 or 2:1, and I know the work that we do, we cannot handle 5 children like for one teacher. It's impossible.
The parents of autistic children must be facing a lot of difficulties raising their children here in the Maldives, especially with the issues that you noted with the educational curriculum, how things work here in the academic world. So what are some difficulties that parents of autistic children and adults face?
Like perceptions, like passing rude comments is one thing they have that we have been hearing from the parents. For example, you know, some autism children lack in socialization, so there aren't much places to take these kids. So if they take the kids to Kudukudinga Bagicha or a place like that, people pass, children's park, they pass rude comments. So that's why our parents are reluctant to take. So I always advise them, you know, forget about the others. You think of your own child. Your child is more important than the rude comments that you hear. Even with so much awareness, still it is happening. That is something really sad. And you know, some people, they just, what kind of a parent is they? What sort of behavior? The boy is so spoiled, you know, things like that.
So people, the outsiders, people who don't know what autism is about, they have these negative attitudes and all kinds of crazy illusions about children with autism. How can we shatter this?
By creating more awareness, maybe the awareness, the whole community, we need to work collaboratively. That's what I think. We could minimize issues like this.
How can we address these issues? I mean, should we take the awareness route as always, spread awareness, or is there any other way we can address this?
I think awareness is the most, and then like it is also awareness, like having regular meetings and strengthening the different departments. Even we could, you know, for example, sometimes our children have to stay in a queue to see a doctor. And then if we could minimize things like that in public, we are doing wonders to our children with autism.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
We have spoken about early intervention in treating children with autism. You have early intervention therapies at Maldives Autism Association. So how important do you think is early intervention?
Early intervention is very important. As I have said, if you see any developmental delays in your child, get a proper diagnosis. For example, the child might not have eye contact, or the child might not babble when the child is 6 months old. If you see any delays, please do it as soon as possible. Get a proper diagnosis, then only we can work on IEP, Individualized Education Plan.
So the first thing is, when you see a symptom, you should not delay. You should report to the Maldives Autism Association so that you guys can take on from that forward.
And then you will see a smooth transition. For example, when the child reaches 6 or 7 years, when the child is like at the age to move to grade 1 classes, the child can cope in the mainstream classroom. That is what we are doing for the kids, preparing the kids, even though some children are overage. We have even talked with the Ministry of Education, and we have brought this issue up. Even though the children are 9 years, it doesn't matter. When the child is ready, we can send the child to grade 1 classroom. Age is not a problem. And then if we could modify the lessons according to the children's strength, I think they could cope in the mainstream classrooms. That's the challenges they face. I can tell you a very simple example. For example, a kid might be not good in mathematics, but when the child goes to grade 8, the child is given calculator. What's the use of, why can't the child use when he's in grade 3 or grade 2? These are little adjustments that we could do to help the child.
So we need to make certain adjustments to allow them to function. Even though they have this disorder, they should not be made to feel that I'm different in a bad way. They should be made to feel that I'm different in a good way. I'm bright, I'm confident, I'm clever.
I'm different, but I'm smart, right? Accept them.
Yeah. And I think you have great experience in dealing with autistic children. And do you have any stories that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, let me talk about my personal views about it, okay? I just wanted to do early childhood because I even have a difficult child. So that is how I came into special education. But throughout, I always had a passion for children. So that is what I am doing today because of my son and because of other kids.
So being a mother of a troubled child, a challenged child, you know how it's like to...
Yeah, I can feel the parents. I know what the parents will go through, and I know most of the parents go through a denial stage. So I was one of them. So that's why I'm telling parents not to wait for the last minute thinking that a miracle might happen. Move on. As soon as you notice something, get a proper diagnosis.
Do you help parents get out of their denial at the Maldives Autism Association?
Yeah, we have a parent support group as well. So it's like a community, a family. So we all work together. So even parent to parent, they help each other. We are like a big family.
So it's a huge family business, I must say, helping each other. And that's one of the best examples, I think, you can create for other NGOs in the country. Do you have sufficient teachers who are working with you to work with autistic children, or do we have sufficient teachers in this country at large?
First, I'll answer to MA, based on MA, okay? In MA, we have sufficient teachers. As I have mentioned, we have 91 kids who are with us right now, and I have 35 teachers. All my teachers are trained. We have been bringing expertise from outside, and then we have been giving hands-on training for my teachers. So my teachers could work very well with children with autism. But I have to say, in other schools, the teachers need to be trained more, like simple adjustments, then only they could do. And one factor is, I think, one teacher has to handle 25 to 30 kids, and it cannot be done in one classroom. That is why these autism children are facing challenges in the mainstream classrooms.
Now, some parents may wonder, what would happen if I don't diagnose my child and take the necessary measures in the early stages? Well, what do you think would be the outcome of failing to take prompt action? Yeah,
the thing it's going to happen is the child is moving. Every year he is going to be a year older, right?
Yes.
So it is going to be very difficult to adjust to different environments. Okay, the child goes to a school and the child cannot cope with the lessons because first of all he needs to get his eye contact, and then we have to develop his speech. So it's step by step, one goal at a time. So if we omit all this, it's a very big disadvantage for the child.
So as a child grows, and if the parents try to take action when the child is around 8 or 9 or 10 or even later than that, it would be a huge challenge for them, right?
It's going to be a huge challenge for them. So maybe in academics, the child might be a bit low. In that case, we have to prepare him with a functional curriculum and develop his skills like to be independent. Like for example, when some kids come to us, even though when they are like 10 years or 11 years, we have to teach them even toilet training we have to do. So it is a goal we have to work. Every 2 minutes we have to have a stopwatch to take the child to the toilet. So this is a goal we have to work. So once the goal is reached, we move on to the next goal. So it is going to be a slow process at times.
Wow, that's amazing to hear all that. How do you manage with all this? I mean, we know that autism does not have a cure. And that it's going to take time for a
The
child to get
disability
better.
will be there.
Will be there. So you have to just learn to cope with how things are. Of course, it could have been worse than that. So you just have to be thankful for how things are at the moment and be thankful. What do you think about the society? Is the society sympathetic to children with autism?
I cannot say the society is sympathetic, but the families of autism children are sympathetic because autism is very common now. Every family will have a cousin or a distant cousin in the family who has autism. So the families are very much connected, but I cannot say the community.
Why do you think the community is so negative? What are the reasons?
Lack of awareness. That is something that I could say. And then maybe if we could transform the schools, like if we could have SEN classes or special classes for these children in schools, if a day like that comes in a near future, I'm even hoping that they would come pretty soon. So if a day like this comes, people will be more aware.
What about the authorities? Are they cooperative with you?
I cannot say the authorities are very cooperative. To be very honest, sometimes we have to wait months if we want to get an appointment, and if we get an appointment and there's no follow-up after that, we cannot reach them. And if we write letters, sometimes we have to wait for like 8 months, 9 months to get a reply, and then it goes like that. But I'm very thankful to Islamic Ministry. Recently I had a meeting with Islamic Minister.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he promised a lot of things. So I'm hoping things would be different this time. Let's see what happens.
Hope it will be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Me too. We're in conversation with the Managing Director of Maldives Autism Association. We'll now take a short break and return in a few minutes.
न्यूट्रो स्पेशल क्रेकर्स एत बाइक के इतबार होता फावे न्यूट्रो स्पेशल क्रेकर्स की पैकेट गागिन आदद का बिस्कोदे कुलेवे आगे मीरु बिस्कोदे वारक कमदा बिस्कोदे बिंदा बिंदा खाला न्यूट्रो स्पेशल क्रेकर्स लोनोमेद टोमाटो मीरु के अवैपी जैसा
मीरू किंग गार्लिक चिली सॉस
मीरु को फुरिहम को खालेवेनी मिसो सुरेगे
मीरू किंग टोमाटो सॉस
कुंबे को मिसो से खमक लुदे हम रंगड़ी
मीरू किंग चिली सॉस
सोसे विजिया राहे बेसुंजे
मीरू किंग फ्राइड चिकन चिली सॉस Enjoy the great taste.
King tomato sauce.
Tom Garden, imported and marketed by Miami Traders. Phone 331-8850.
Sena, oba seltane monita.
අද කොන්සේල් මිහාරුස් රෙඩ්වෙවුන් අපරි එංහස් රුපියගේ ව්‍යාපාරි 61 රුපියක් කොල්ලේ.
Enga sufia wefari redwe komandara kadias. Hahege badloga hashtag rufe waanatati kiya.
මරියම්බා රෙඩ්වෙවුන් අපරි එමිහුම් විකාවුගා MMS විකානම තකතිග ගොබඩුවකින් එකක් වස්නුනේ.
eden hama sateka ga wa.
එංහස් රුපියගේ ව්‍යාපාරි 61 රුපියක් කොල්ලුම රෙඩ්වෙව් මජීදි මග.
Redwave mart roshani maga.
රෙඩ්වෙව් ප්ලාසා සයිද් කුවෙක් ෆාන් මග ආදී රෙඩ්වෙව් මෝල් මජීදි මග වඩා තිබාගේ ජීවත් 32 රුපියක් ජමා කරනවා.
Oh gada.
Baby like Anika was sandwich. 1, 2, 3, 4 piece free. We were though we wouldn't baby like it. But 12 case 1 case free. Tutu therefore go for la hingama jehoma. Baby like Penakorama.
Tirag postpaid and Nangawa, Adi I like Singapore ga ufarid chutting head the column fursat hodava. Hatar befrunang hatar doge hurum, Adi Singapore ge mashur tantam balwale ruma tuata. Tuata Geterega, night safari, river cruise, gardens by the bay, Adi Universal Studio balwale runga fursat. Tirag postpaid and Nangawage, Singapore ga chutting head the kolava.
Effects, the mental energizer.
And England need to find a goalkeeper from somewhere. Look at that! He's only won it for them! New hero! Extraordinary!
ವರ ಬಲಾಗೆ ವಿಷ್ಣುತರಿಕಮಾಯಕು ಹುವಾಲೆವೆ ಮಿಸಾಫತಕಿ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾಗೆ ಫರ್ಬದ ಮತೀಗ ಬಂದು ಕುರೆವೆ ಮೀರ್ ಸಾಫತೆ ತಾಜಾ ಕಂಕೆಲ್ಲುವಾನುಲ ವರ ಬಲಾಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕುರುಮುಗೆ ಸಬಬುಂ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮೀಹಕವೆಸ್ ಅಕ್ಬರ್ ಸಾ ಮೀರುವೆ ಅಕ್ಬರ್ಗಾ ಎವಾ ರೈಟ್ ಕುಲಾಗೆ ಅಸ್ಲಕಿ ಮಿಸಾ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕೋ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಕೋ ಉಪಯುಕ್ತಮಕ್ ಕುರೆವೆ ಮಸಕ್ಕತುಗೆ ನತೀಜಾ ಅಕ್ಬರ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಅದಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಮೀರ್ ಸಾ
Welcome back. You're watching The Fourth Estate with me, Jaishan Amir. We were having a conversation about children and adults with autism, the challenges they face in this country, and the programs, the efforts that you're doing at Maldives Autism Association to address their needs. My next question is, the theme for this year's World Autism Day is employment, the autism advantage. Can you share your thoughts on this?
Yeah, employment. First of all, I would like to thank our president for providing opportunities for job opportunities for children with disabilities. That is last year. So one of the students was working with us who has like mild developmental delay, and she was able to get a job. She was with us for about like four years, and she's a capable child of working on doing proper work, to get a job. She's the ideal girl, and I'm really happy for that. I'm really thankful for the president, and it's a green signal, I think. So at the moment we don't have many opportunities, but I'm hoping with the green signal, I'm hoping in future when our kids reach that age, things would be different.
So right now you have very young children
Yeah.
working with you. I mean, getting
Yeah,
therapy?
we have from 0 to 12 years. And the children that we are having in the association, we will be keeping them until they reach 15 years. From there, we have to teach them, something, a functional skill, and we have to develop their skills, and then we have to prepare them for employment.
I think children with autism are very gifted and skilled children, as you have mentioned.
Yeah.
And some of them have these amazing skills like pattern recognition, logical thinking, and drawing a picture like straight from their head. You're not looking at anything and just looks picture perfect.
Yeah.
Have you seen any children like this?
Yeah, there are amazing children.
yes.
Some children are very talented in art, and some are very skilled in ICT, and some are very good in mathematics, and some even very good in by hearting. So there's this amazing boy, a very talented boy, a 9-year-old boy who is very good in mental maths. If you ask him like thousands, million numbers to add or do the 4 operations, he will do within seconds. So we know that this boy's strength is math, mental maths. So from MAA, we are providing a private tutor for this boy so that he could sit for his Cambridge exam, hopefully within the next year. I'm hoping for that. And then we also have very bright kids who could by heart, as I have mentioned before. So I am sure if I could get hold of a good Guruan teacher, within the 2 years they could by heart Guruan. So there are very talented kids, even there are very talented kids in arts. You will be amazed to see their drawings. It's really perfect. You should like visit us one day, then you could see their talents.
I should do that. I should really do that. Do you have any plans to open up a gallery or have a fair where you can actually showcase the talents of these children?
We are not doing in a very broad way, but every year we sell their paintings to their own parents. But I think we should do it. But we have talked to like some talented artists, and they're very interested in helping these children. So I'm hoping that in May we would be able to start classes for these talented kids to improve their art skills.
And also, what about creating more avenues for the public to see their work?
I think that would be a very good opportunity to show these kids strengths, and then only the public will know that these children are very creative children.
What kind of ideas do you have in your mind?
I think what you have suggested is very good. We could have a gallery, like art gallery or something like that.
A fair or something.
Yeah, something like this. But as I have mentioned before, this year in 2015, we have transformed to a school with a special curriculum. So when we are running like a school, we will be incorporating all these in extracurricular activities. We are having all that. So this year we are having we wanted to have even a concert, and that's going to be, I think, around September or October. So you're going, like, the public is going to see more and hear more about these kids.
Will we see some of their talents on tomorrow's telethon?
Yeah, because our telethon is from 10 a.m. until 6 a.m. So from live TV, there will be very success stories and the challenges that the parents face, and some creative stories and some talented kids' work, and you will see many talented kids' performance through our this live program.
So it's from 10 a.m. to
6 p.m.
p.m. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yes.
And then we are having the walk at 3:45. We are starting from youth center, and then we will be taking Majidi Magu, and we are finishing off to Ralogandu Sarahadu artificial beach. And before that, we have sent a puzzle piece to every school. So each school is going to decorate that puzzle piece and write a saying, something nice about autism. And then we are going to have a board when we wind up. When it's the closing ceremony, we are going to display all the messages, and that's it for the day. So right now we have many schools who wanted to take part, and they're with us. And in addition, we even have t-shirts and caps that we are selling. So that is also something, if the public wants, that door is also open.
So from where can they buy this?
From Maldives Autism Association. And for this year we have a special slogan. As we are celebrating our 5 years, we are having a special slogan: contribute a coin for autism school. So then only we will know how much awareness we have created. So the islands, even they will be having the work. We have provided with the leaflets, everything to them. So they will be taking part. So every household will know about autism, those who will take part. So by contributing 1 rupiah coin, we will know how much awareness we have created.
So if you get like 5,000 coins, 5,000 people love your association. So that's a very fair measure, I think. Now, going back to this year's theme, employment, the autism advantage, do you think local Maldivian employers give enough opportunities to autism adults?
Yeah, we are at the initial stage, right? Like step by step, right? So now we have job opportunities for them, but I think this should be done in a more broader way. Like, for example, certain amount of scholarships should be given to these special children. Then only once they come and when they do their higher studies, they will definitely be in higher positions. So we know that even many scientists are with autism, right? Even Einstein talk very late, so they are very smart people. Why can't our kids be that smart, right? They can be if we give them the opportunity.
And many of these great scientists were once called stupid.
Yeah.
But they proved the detractors are wrong.
Yeah.
And
they might be different. That's why we have to accept them.
Now, I have a very simple question.
Yeah.
If we have a parent who suspects that his or her child has autism based on the symptoms, what should be the first immediate step they should take?
Okay, getting a proper diagnosis. You can go to a doctor, get a proper diagnosis, get a second one's opinion too, and then start with the early intervention program. That is very, very important.
Is it advisable for them to approach your association first or go to a medical facility?
It depends. Even we can do consultations. So we don't say this child has this severity of autism or this child has mild autism, but we tell the parents there are this flag, there are related symptoms of autism, and we have to work for these. And that is how we don't want to say this child is with autism and he is severe. We don't say that to the parents.
What should they avoid doing if they find out that their kid has autism?
Yeah, every parent goes through a denial stage. That's what I'm telling you. Don't wait till the last minute. You have to do it, and as soon as you know, you have to get a proper diagnosis and then move on from there.
So even if you have the slightest suspicion that your child might be having autism, you should go and find out.
Yes, you have to go and find.
Have your child checked, do the diagnosis, and get the treatment
immediately.
Do you have any useful tips for parents with autistic children as far as the parent-child bond is concerned? Do you have any advice you would like to give them?
Yeah, accept them in the family. Give them time. We know we all are in a busy schedule, so we don't tend to give them enough time. Listen to them. They might not be able to express, but you have to give them enough time for them to communicate. That is why these challenging behaviors start. Love them even though they are different. That's my advice.
Any tips for close friends and relatives of children and adults with autism?
As I have mentioned repeatedly, don't wait till the last minute. Get hold of an expert and then get a proper diagnosis, and then you have to move on from there.
We have come to the end of this show, but what would be your final message to our viewers?
My final message is In tomorrow's our Autism Awareness Walk, I want all of you to participate for our kids because they are going to be the future of our country.
And we have to build a more inclusive, accepting future, a society for them.
Yeah, we have to accept them. That is something we have to do, even though they are different.
Now that just became the message of both of us. Ifham, thank you very much for coming to this show. And we know you have lots of things on your agenda for tomorrow. It's a big day for Maldives Autism Association. And we here at the TV wish you all the best in your endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome. This is me, Zashin Ahmed, signing off, hoping to return next week to discuss yet another issue of national and social importance. Thank you for watching. Have a very pleasant evening.